Thank you, Robert, for the invitation. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to my friends in the front row. What we experienced here, right over there, was something that from today forward, I will be calling the Peacehaven Joy Machine. It is more than a song, it's a practice. As the psalmist wrote in Psalm 133:1, "How good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity." Today, I want to talk about the work that it takes to build that kind of unity, not a passive, pleasant feeling, but as a labor of love and justice. I want to ground today's reflection in the words of Dr. Reverend Bernice King, who reminds us that love is not passive. It is active, it is transformative, and just. She warns us that love is not a weak, spineless emotion. It is a powerful, moral force on the side of justice. And she gives us a framework for this series. Justice is one of love's offsprings. Amen. Thank you, Jeff. I'm going to switch to a statement that I wasn't sure when I would need to make, but I'm going to make it now. Sometimes we are presented with opportunities to question the rules and the expectations of the events in our lives. So today I invite anyone here who feels moved to speak out to do so. Let's relax the expectations and embrace the call and response. When my son was in kindergarten, I met Donna Pagari. She was a Guilford County Schools employee who provided one-to-one support to a student who sat at the same table as my son each day. Over time, Donna invited us, my son and I, to volunteer where her son lived at Peacehaven. Peacehaven, a place for housing and community, is committed to being different together, nearby in Whitsett, North Carolina, so in this county. A few years earlier, when I was directing a fabulously successful student-run experience-based education lab at UNCG, I met Donna's son, Jeff. He was a full-time certificate-earning student at UNCG. As a patron of our lab, he had become an extension of our community. He didn't work in our lab. He was someone that we supported. But he saw that lab as a part of his community. Patrons didn't usually have that experience. Jeff found comfort in the environment that we co-created and a sense of belonging with this community. Jeff was already a part of my community, but I had no idea how much love I would experience as a member of his Peacehaven community. From our very first day as volunteers in 2015, Peacehaven accepted our gifts. For 8 years, my son and some of my college students would join me as volunteers at Peacehaven. We worked in the garden, cleaned up the canning kitchen, provided weekly oral communication coaching, and shared what we learned while co-presenting with our friends at Peacehaven at academic conferences. Over those years, because Jeff is a part of my community and I am a part of his, he regularly asked how my son was doing. So if I didn't have my son with me, I was guaranteed to be asked how my son was doing. And Jeff listened to my response with a genuine connection that is rare. And he always followed up my answers with the same question. But I will tell you my answers first. So I would answer, he's doing taekwondo or theater camp at North Carolina Theater for Young People, or summer radio camp with WFDD, online magic classes with a school in Baltimore, attending concerts, singing, improvisation workshops, puppet parades, participating in the junior arts music program at a nearby church, and playing the guitar. Now, that wasn't one answer. That was a different answer every time he asked, depending on what my son had been doing for that week. But these are the things that he was doing. Jeff always asked me, how could he have some of these same experiences?
We did it.
And it took me too many years to actually hear that question. He always asked. He would say, Kim, this is really interesting. I think that I'd like to do that. How can I do that? As I looked around, I came to learn that these types of experiences were very limited for adults who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. Even as I found public programming open to everyone, missing was an invitation to the adults who have disabilities, like my friends from Peacehaven. My friends assume that such experiences are not for them. The more I pondered this, the more powerful a moral force I felt. Radical change was needed. I came to learn that liberation work, any of you can do liberation work. I came to learn that liberation work requires 3 things. First, an individual willing to do the work. We had that. Second, the absence of systemic barriers stopping the work from happening. Check. And finally, an institutional partner, and for me, that was Peacehaven. So, in 2023, armed with an anonymous $5,000 donation made by someone who loves me, I approached Peacehaven with my Arts for All vision to respectfully invite people with intellectual and developmental disabilities to make, share, and experience art alongside anyone else who is interested.
We need more of this.
At this time, thank you. At this time, I'll shift my story to images of our disability justice practice and invite my friends from Peacehaven to share if they want to. All right, so if you want to share, go back over to the microphone that you were singing. All right, so we're gonna all look at images of the work that we've been doing since 2023, and Anne, we're gonna come over here. And as you look at those images, Anne, if there's something that you see on the image that you wanna talk about, you can tell us about it, okay. But we can also understand what we're seeing without those words.
Okay, Arm's not here. My sister come back today. That's her book, cards and stuff
Yep.
that.
Yep.
And have her out and stuff that. He like Glee.
Yep. So
And
Anne, your sister's home today.
yeah, come back today.
Yep, and you're telling us about this magic class that we did online.
Oh,
And
magic.
Dana will help you. Yep.
You have magic stuff and stuff that. And card tricks and band stuff.
We did rubber bands trick.
Band,
We did a trick with
yep.
rubber bands. We did a card trick.
Yep. And I go home because somebody had my family got a birthday party to go to today because I got her today and I got her to take me back home for me because I go in to my birthday today and celebrate for them.
So Dana's going to take you home today?
Yeah, I come back tonight.
Already.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for telling us about this image, Anne.
Thank you.
So we're going to look at these images, and Jeff, when there's an image that you want to talk about, you can just talk. We're going to flip through them. Mm-hmm. That's not the one you want to talk about? No, that's okay. I'll talk a little bit. This is down the street at Leon's Beauty Salon. The artist is Blake, and Leon's opened up the salon to allow us to bring one of our friends with intellectual and developmental disabilities who is an artist to have a show down at Leon's. These are students at UNCG. I'll talk about them a little bit later. We did an art show. We invited community members who are artists to join us. We also had some of our art on display downtown at the Greensboro Project Space. This is John Foreman's art. He's one of the artists who joined us, and he brought 5 of his pieces. If you like that piece, I encourage you to look for John Foreman online. His work is also right now at the Marshall Muse Art Gallery. This is the end of semester celebration that we did at UNCG. We do it every semester. Every semester, Peacehaven comes to my class 6 or 8 times.
I want to talk about this picture.
Go ahead.
With friends, I'm making new friends like my friend Robert. Every year we have a big parade. In fact, next year the parade will actually happen here, I think. What it means is that we are open. We are a community, like Kim said. And she makes me really want to cry. Could I see the next picture, please? 'Cause I think it's supposed to be of
Can we
me.
get the
'cause I
next
always want to do a
picture,
picture of me. Aha, here we go. This is what I like to call an American celebration. As America celebrated birthday, I was actually cheering for these pictures to come up on YouTube and say, like, could Greensboro College or other colleges, like, have a celebration? Because if you didn't know, July is also Disability Pride Month. It's also the celebration of the ADHD Act.
Yeah.
And I just said to myself, like, why does like North Carolina and why this, because I'm from New Jersey, like, could I maybe like let other colleges know and say, hey, let's have a national day when we honor all the arts, no matter who they are. Like, excuse me, like even that quote right there.
So arts advocacy is something that Jeff is
if I
into.
could have it here next year, and I'm going to talk to other issues about making it happen.
And Jeff would like you to know, thank you. Jeff wants you all to know that while his focus right now is on college students, like if you have access to college students, he wants access to your college students. He wants to see something like a parade celebrating unity to happen. But we're happy to work with anyone, anyone who's courageous enough to work with us. We want to do that work. So the images are going to continue while I start talking again. Everything that you're going to be seeing on the screens behind me is examples of what I'm going to be talking about. So Ben, did you want to share anything about any of the pictures? No, you're okay. There'll be a picture of Ben. Did you see yourself in any of the pictures yet? You will be. And Ann, it's hard to find you in the pictures because you work on Tuesdays, right? Yeah. I'm going to shift back to what I was reading. Okay. So at the end of the summer of 2023, I was approached by Tommy Pagan, an arts administration major at Elon University. Sorry, don't pause again. I work at UNCG, I work at Greensboro College, I volunteer at Peacehaven. Tommy was at Elon. He had learned about our efforts through my LinkedIn articles, and he wanted to be an intern with us. He wanted to do his required internship with Arts for All at Peacehaven. I thought the timing was off. Just as planned, the initial efforts had concluded. We had met or exceeded nearly all of our goals, and our funding had been spent. Arts for All had shifted from an idea to a bona fide practice. It was time to pause the work and seek external funding. Tommy's powerful moral force quickly convinced me to do more. We haven't sought external funding yet. Together with Tommy, with no budget, we added an instrumental petting zoo to the yearly fall harvest celebration at Peacehaven,
October 25th.
a student-run dance movement workshop, weekly Saturday morning improv classes before garden volunteer days, theater games to the first cohort of Peacehaven's Rise Day program, a giant puppet parade. We did a focus group as part of Tommy's internship. We did a focus group with the people that live at Peacehaven, who we call the core members, to identify what they liked about what we've done so far and what additional things that they'd like to do. And I will say to you all that still on that list of not yet realized things that we'd like to do, Anne wants to make jewelry. And Autumn, who's not here with us today, really wants a glee club.
What did I say, Kim?
You say a lot of things. But whatever you want to do, we'll make it happen. We'll find a way. More magic. All right, so focus group was the last thing I said. We added online instructional design to a web page. We do have a web page. You won't be able to find it because we're not paying anybody to host it, but on that web page, there are some two arts activities that anyone can do from their home. You can stop the video and start it again. If you can't or don't want to do it, you can watch as well. We want to do more of that. We talked about that, right? We did a visual arts exhibit that you saw the sign for, and so much more. This was the love that Dr. Reverend Bernice King speaks of. It was active, transformative, and just. So in the summer of 2025, we had been doing art for 2 years at that point. I participated in professional development at UNCG. I was learning about the seamlessly endless possibilities of shifting from traditional service learning, which I've been doing with my students since the year 2000, to community-engaged pedagogy, or community-engaged teaching and learning. So while service learning, which is now called community-placed pedagogy, remains a sound practice at UNCG, an effort to grow community-engaged pedagogy was underway, and so my teaching and learning was evolving. My communication studies work pivoted away from traditional service learning. I stopped asking my students to serve the community and started asking them to join me. We co-teach, co-learn, co-design, co-plan, and co-develop knowledge along with our neighbors from Peacehaven. Every time that Peacehaven is in the classroom with us, in the fall last year, it was 6 of our Tuesday meetings. No, 8. 8 in the fall, 6 in the spring. We only meet on Tuesday. It's a 15-week semester. 8 times they were with us in the fall and 6 times in the spring. And every time, all the voices in the room were in charge. There wasn't ever a single person that was the boss. Together, each semester, we've developed our own communication skills as we work to build and then create and celebrate community. And we do so through art, as you've seen some pictures. This work is rooted in belonging, which is the antidote to social isolation. I was so concerned about the social isolation that my friends were experiencing, and I didn't realize that art could give us that sense of belonging. So again, this work is rooted in belonging as the antidote to social isolation. The Peacehaven Joy Machine is the most vibrant example of this, but it's just one part of a larger ecosystem of belonging that we've been building. It's the result of listening, learning, connecting, and most important, invitation. It proves that when we show up with our gifts, we can create a space where justice isn't just a policy, it's a living, breathing harmony. And I thought that was going to be the end until I looked at Peacehaven's social media yesterday and I found this. Every day at Peacehaven, people of all abilities remind us that a flourishing community isn't one where everyone is the same. It's one where every person has something meaningful to give, and every gift makes the whole community stronger. The Joy Machine will lead us in 2 more songs. They will be sing-alongs. You can look the words up on your phone if you need to. As they play, don't just listen. Consider the places where a moral force might be calling you to show up with your gifts. Thank you.